Hello everyone, wishing you all a wonderful day. Today, we're going to dive into something truly heartwarming. The first month of baby Yuri and Tu Tieu, filled with laughter, surprises, and those priceless first moments that every parent dreams about. You won't want to miss the funny, touching, and unforgettable memories that make this little family so special. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss our upcoming videos. Yuri woke up very early, the kind of early that feels almost sacred in a quiet house. He carefully carried a small basin of water, cradling it as if it were a treasure. Today was a special day. He was determined to do something he had never done before: bathe his baby for the very first time with his own hands. Tu Tieu was already standing at the doorway, arms crossed, a knowing smile playing on her lips. She could sense it. This was going to be funny, maybe chaotic, but definitely unforgettable. The moment Yuri gently placed the baby into the water, the little one grinned from ear to ear. But Yuri, he got soaked from head to toe. Every time he lifted the baby, a splash of water went everywhere. Each time he leaned forward, the baby kicked, sending water onto his face. Tu Tieu laughed so hard she had to pull out her phone to record the moment. Ms. Lan peeked in from outside, shaking her head and sighing. Good heavens, what kind of father is this? Are you bathing the baby or letting him swim? Yuri's cheeks flushed, but he held the baby carefully, feeling both clumsy and joyful. The entire room echoed with laughter like they had never laughed before. The chaos, the splashes, the baby's delighted noises. It was a memory they would treasure forever. That night, the family braced for the real challenge. The first night without sleep. The baby woke, then drifted back to sleep, then woke again. Yuri scrambled to prepare the milk but accidentally turned on hot water, running around to cool it down. Tu Tieu tried to soothe the baby with lullabies, but her singing was off-key, making Yuri laugh nervously beside her. The baby didn't cry or fuss. He just stared at them with wide eyes, as if silently asking, "What are you two doing?" Finally, the baby fell asleep again. Yuri and Tu Tieu leaned on each other, exhausted but smiling. "This must be real parent life," Yuri said softly. Tu Tieu rested her head on his shoulder. "Exhausting, but so joyful," she whispered back. The next day, Yuri had a new mission, capturing perfect family photos. But life had other plans. Every time he lifted the camera, the baby stuck out his tongue, made funny faces, sneezed, or fell asleep just as the shutter clicked. Ms. Lan, flipping through the photos, laughed aloud. This little one has a real talent for comedy. Finally, Yuri decided to gather all the less-than-perfect photos into a separate folder, labeling it the funniest and cutest moments of baby 1 month old. Each photo, each silly expression, made them laugh until their cheeks hurt. It wasn't the perfect photo shoot they had imagined, but it was perfectly them, perfectly real. That afternoon, Tu Tieu felt a pang of playful jealousy. Yuri had been holding the baby almost non-stop from morning until afternoon, leaving Tu Tieu standing nearby, pouting with arms crossed. "Hey, I want to hold him too," she said, her voice teasing. Yuri grinned and scooped her up along with the baby. He miscalculated the weight and nearly wobbled, prompting Ms. Lan to shout from the kitchen, "Let her get a little jealous. What are you doing, acting so silly?" The family laughed together, the room warm with love. The simple, ordinary moments, the laughter, the playful scolding, the little slips and near tumbles, made the house feel alive. cozy, and completely theirs. Later that afternoon, Yuri carried the baby out into the bamboo forest behind their wooden house. The bamboo swayed gently in the breeze, creating a soft rustling sound, almost like nature's lullaby. Tu Tieu walked close beside them, feeling her heart soften. After weathering so many storms, all they needed now was this: the baby asleep in their arms, the comfort of each other, and the quiet presence of nature surrounding them. That was true happiness. A tender bamboo shoot brushed against the baby's tiny hand. The baby laughed and reached out to touch it again. Yuri watched quietly, a soft smile on his face, just like his mother. "He likes simple, gentle things," he murmured. Tu Tieu glanced at him, teasing. "And his father likes complicated things, huh?" Yuri chuckled. "No, Daddy likes Mommy." The words were light, almost casual, but Tu Tieu's heart melted like warm honey. This was a quiet, powerful moment, a reminder that love was in the little gestures, in the everyday, in the shared smiles and laughs. When they returned to the yard, an even bigger surprise awaited. The baby laughed out loud for the very first time. Not a small giggle, but a full, joyful laugh, triggered by Yuri making a cat sound. "Meow," he said, and the baby responded with a loud, happy, "Eh hey hey." The family froze for a moment, stunned by the sheer joy of it. Then, in unison, they cheered. Ms. Lan shouted, almost in disbelief. Good heavens, he chose to laugh while his father was being a cat. Definitely inherited the funny gene from his dad. Tu Tieu held the baby close, her eyes sparkling. His first laugh, so adorable. As evening approached, a familiar neighbor stopped by, bringing a basket brimming with fresh fruit. In his warm, simple voice, he said, "Congratulations on your little one's 1-month milestone," wishing him a healthy and peaceful life. Ms. Lan immediately launched into stories from back in the day, falling into mud while planting bamboo, being chased by chickens, and other neighborhood misadventures. Each tale sent Tu Tieu and Yuri into fits of laughter, almost toppling over with amusement. It was in that moment they realized something important. Family wasn't just about blood. Their little world, friends, neighbors, and loved ones, was ready to embrace their child, surrounding him with care, warmth, and laughter. As night fell, Yuri gently placed the baby into his cradle. The little hands curled around his finger in the sweetest gesture. Tu Tieu stood beside him, resting her head on his shoulder. "Do you see? Just 1 month, and our lives have completely changed." Yuri responded softly, like the gentle breeze whispering through the bamboo. "But it's the best kind of change I could ever hope for." Tu Tieu smiled. Indeed. After so many storms, in their peaceful wooden home nestled within the bamboo forest, they finally had what many people spend a lifetime searching for: family, laughter, and a child who brings light to everything. The next morning, Yuri woke to the sound of tiny coos and gentle rustling. The baby was already awake, eyes wide with curiosity and kicking his little legs as if he was ready to start the day full of energy. Yuri whispered to Tu Tieu, "Looks like someone's eager to explore the world." She smiled, still half asleep, resting against him, feeling a wave of love wash over her. Breakfast was its usual gentle chaos. Miss Lan prepared porridge in the kitchen, humming softly, while Yuri tried to keep the baby entertained. Each time he made a silly face, the baby gurgled and kicked, spilling a little milk here and there. Tu Tieu wiped up the mess and laughed, teasing, "You're not just a dad, you're a one-man water park." Yuri grinned sheepishly, holding the baby close and trying not to slip on the spilled porridge. After breakfast, they decided to take a short stroll around the bamboo grove. The morning sun filtered through the leaves, creating dancing patterns on the wooden floors and ground around their house. Yuri walked slowly, letting the baby's tiny fingers brush against the bamboo stalks, feeling the gentle texture. Tu Tieu followed, picking up fallen leaves and letting the baby play with them. Every time he giggled or reached out, both parents laughed until their cheeks ached. Ms. Lan trailed behind, smiling quietly. She watched how naturally the family had adapted to these small, beautiful routines. The rhythm of care, attention, and joy. "Look at them," she whispered to herself. "They're learning love in the simplest ways." Later, Yuri tried another playful experiment, teaching the baby to respond to sounds. He made little animal noises, from birds to cats, and the baby's eyes followed every sound with fascination. Occasionally, he squeaked or cooed back, and Yuri would clap in delight. "See," he said to Tu Tieu, crouching beside them. "He's already trying to talk to me." Tu Tieu giggled, poking Yuri gently. "Or he's just laughing at how ridiculous you sound." By midday, the family returned inside. Yuri had set up a small blanket corner near the bamboo window, creating a cozy little nest for the baby to lie down and look out at the forest. Tu Tieu sat beside him, softly humming a tune, while the baby's eyes followed every movement. Occasionally, he reached out for her fingers, as if asking for comfort and connection. It was quiet but full of warmth, connection, and the sense that these were the moments that truly mattered. Suddenly, the baby let out a loud, excited squeal and rolled slightly, startling Yuri. He stumbled a little while catching him, and both parents burst into laughter. Ms. Lan peeked into the room, shaking her head with a warm smile. 1 month old, and already causing many heart attacks? She teased. Yuri laughed, holding the baby close, and said, "Every day is a surprise. That's what makes it worth it." In the afternoon, a small package arrived from a family friend, a gift for the baby. Inside were tiny clothes and soft toys. The baby immediately reached for a little plush bear, hugging it instinctively. Tu Tieu cooed, "Look at him, already showing affection." Yuri knelt beside them, adjusting the blanket around the baby. "He's learning how to hold things gently," he said, "just like we're learning to hold him gently every single day." As evening approached, they gathered for a simple family ritual. Yuri and Tu Tieu took turns reading a short story to the baby, while Ms. Lan prepared a light dinner nearby. The baby's eyes followed every gesture, every movement. Occasionally, he would reach toward the storybook, squealing in delight, as if wanting to join in. Tu Tieu whispered softly, "He's going to grow up surrounded by stories and love." Yuri smiled and leaned down to kiss the top of his tiny head. Later, the sun began to set behind the bamboo forest, casting long golden rays through the leaves. A familiar neighbor came by, bringing a basket of flowers. "For the little one," he said warmly, "may his life always be full of color and joy." Ms. Lan immediately began sharing stories from her own childhood. Slipping into mud while planting bamboo, being chased by chickens, and other neighborhood misadventures. Each story sent Tu Tieu and Yuri into laughter, almost falling over in delight. It was in that moment they realized something important. Family wasn't just about bloodlines. Their small world, friends, neighbors, and loved ones, was ready to embrace their child, surrounding him with care, warmth, and laughter. Night fell, and it was time for the baby's evening routine. Yuri gently rocked him in his arms, while Tu Tieu softly sang a lullaby she had learned from her mother. The baby yawned, his eyes growing heavy, finally succumbing to sleep. Yuri placed him into the cradle, watching as his tiny hands curled around a corner of the blanket. Tu Tieu rested her head on Yuri's shoulder, whispering, "Every day, every small moment, it feels like magic." Yuri nodded, his gaze soft and steady. "It is magic. It's the kind that grows out of love, patience, and a lot of laughter." The house was quiet now, but not empty. The warmth of shared smiles, gentle touches, and the peaceful rhythm of a baby's breathing filled the air. Tu Tieu leaned closer to Yuri, and they shared a silent acknowledgement of the journey they had endured to arrive at this point. After storms, after struggles, after nights of worry, they had found a rhythm, a sanctuary in each other and in their baby. Later, Ms. Lan tucked herself into a chair by the window, sipping tea and watching the bamboo sway in the night breeze. "It's wonderful," she said quietly. "They've built a life where laughter and love meet in every corner. Even the small sounds outside, the rustle of leaves, the distant call of a bird, the soft hum of the night echoed the contentment within the home. It was healing, comforting, grounding. They weren't chasing perfection. They were creating a world where their child could grow up surrounded by warmth, humor, and unconditional love." Yuri glanced down at the baby one last time before heading to bed. The little one's chest rose and fell in a perfect rhythm, a tiny heartbeat syncing with the peace that had settled over the family. Tu Tieu held his hand for a moment longer, feeling a profound gratitude that words could hardly capture. "Tomorrow," she whispered, "we'll do it all over again, and it will be just as beautiful." Yuri smiled, leaning over to kiss her forehead. "Every day with him is an adventure. Every day is the best day of our lives." In their wooden home, nestled in the bamboo forest, laughter, love, and quiet wonder filled the rooms. They had weathered storms, but now they had a treasure in their arms. A child who had already brought light, warmth, and the simplest, most profound joy into their lives. As the night deepened, with stars peeking through the bamboo canopy, the family slept together in a peaceful rhythm. Yuri, Tu Tieu, Ms. Lan, and their little boy, each breath, each quiet movement, each small smile, wove together a story of happiness, humor, and healing that would stay with them forever. They were no longer just surviving. They were thriving. They had family, laughter, and a little boy whose presence illuminated everything. It was the kind of happiness that didn't need grandeur or spectacle. It was quiet, it was real, and it was theirs. Yuri and Tu Tieu are experiencing the joys and chaos of their baby boy's first month. From Yuri's first attempt to bathe the baby, resulting in giggles, splashes, and clumsy moments, to sleepless nights filled with feeding, lullabies, and laughter, the couple navigates early parenthood with love and humor. Every day brings small, heartwarming adventures, playful family photos, gentle strolls through the bamboo forest, and the baby's first joyful laugh that melts their hearts. Alongside them, Ms. Lan and supportive neighbors add warmth and laughter, showing that family extends beyond blood. Through messy, imperfect, yet unforgettable moments, Yuri and Tu Tieu discover the simple, profound happiness of parenthood. Their lives transform completely in just 1 month, as laughter, love, and tender connection weave a cozy, magical world around their little one.